Hello everyone, my name is Ran Shapira from AKT, and I will provide a review of the latest enhancements in this second half 2024 release for SuccessFactors learning. So let's highlight the new learning experience first. So in this release, what is the main news is that it's not possible anymore to hide the new experience. You have to have the new experience either as the only experience or as one of the two options in the toggle button. Okay, so you can control whether it's the only one or the default is the new or the default is the old, but these are the only options that you have. In addition to that, there are some enhancements that were made in the experience itself. And the main one, which is very nice, is the custom cards. So if you remember in the main page, you have banners and you have custom cards in the new experience. Now, SAP added also the option for a custom page. Okay, so if we look at the custom page that we can reach from the main menu, this is an example of custom page called Our Company. It has a banner. It has a few sections of cards. It can have up to 6 sections of 8 cards. So you can put a lot of content in this page, and this can replace any custom pages that you already have in your legacy experience or something new that you want to create now that you have that option. You can also create multiple custom pages like that. So this is very, very useful and very recommended to explore. And if you're making the move from legacy to a new experience for this release, then you'll have to do this mapping from the old custom files to the new cards and maybe using custom pages as well. Another thing that is added in this release is a new facelift for the manager view. So if you go to the manager view, now it's called by default team view, you will see that the look and feel is different. It's much more aligned with the new experience. A few enhancements that we see here. First of all, the list of employees is sorted by default by the ones that first need attention. So the ones that have overdue or training. So they will appear first and the others will appear after that. And another nice enhancement that we can see here is the option to send a reminder. So now the manager will have the option to send a reminder per employee. So for example, if the manager can see that Chris now has these 2 overdue items, okay, so they can send a reminder, and this will send a reminder about all the pending items for Chris by an email notification. Okay, so this is in addition to the regular expiration notification and reminders that we typically have on a periodical basis. The send reminder will happen immediately, and we'll send the email at that point in time. Other than that, there is mostly parity with what we had in the legacy view, the option to manage assignments, manage enrollment, view the history, etc. I'd like to also show you another enhancement, as I said, around the mapping of skills and competencies to items. I know that probably many of you are not yet working with skills and competencies in LMS. In the past, it was possible to work with competencies and capabilities later on in the evolution of SuccessFactors learning, but I know many of customers are not using it yet. Now the Talent Intelligence Hub is part of the platform, and there is more attention in the product to skills, competencies, and other attributes of the employees. Maybe it's a good time to start considering using that in SuccessFactors learning as well. So just as a highlight, I want to explain the context. We have 3 ways of mapping skills and competencies to your learning items in the LMS. One option is doing it manually. So if you access any item as admin and go to the attribute section for that item, then you will see that you can add attributes, map attributes to that item, which means that if the employee completes this item, he will gain proficiency in the system in some attribute, which can be a skill, competency, or any other attribute, like language, experience, and other things. So this is very useful. So if we want to do that manually, this existed also in the previous release. So you can just select from the list of attributes that exist in the platform and add that. And you can also control, if you like, the proficiency level that is gained for each of these competencies. Okay, so that's one option that you have, that you already existed. The new thing that we see in this new release is the option to upload skills and competencies to map them to items in SuccessFactors learning, as well as using AI-based inferred skills import. So let's start with the batch skills and competency import. So this can be done using the connector. So if you have hundreds of items in your system and you want to now map, at least for some of them, you want to map some skills and competencies and other attributes, it's very, very simple because you can use a connector. So if I'm going to the connectors area in the admin interface, I can download connector template for doing this job exactly. So I can select the item connector, and under the item connector, there is the option for skills import and competencies import. Let's take, for example, the competencies import. So after downloading the template for mapping competencies to items, you can see that we can map an item by item ID and item type to some competency with the competency ID that we can take from the Talent Intelligence Hub, and even specify what's going to be the rating, the proficiency rating attained by completing this item. Okay, and then if we load this connector file to the system, it will make that mapping. And of course, we can do that in one batch to many items at once. It's also possible to attach multiple competencies to the same item, etc. So this is possible as well. Just one tip here: if you make this upload, it is required that you also put a regular item connector file together in SFTP when you do the load. So first you have to prepare a very simple item connector file just with the item ID, item type, domain, and then put that together in the folder with this competency mapping file. And the same way you can do for skills. One point to keep in mind, it's possible only for skills and competencies, not for any other attribute types, like any custom types, like languages, etc., at least for now. So this is the second option. And the third option for AI-based inferred skills import, if you have AI points, so if you have the license for using AI capabilities in the system in general, then you will be able to use these points also for inferring skills for your items, which is very interesting. It means that you can use an import file to specify which items would you like the system to infer which skills are related to the items automatically by looking at the item title and description. And once you import it, the system will look at the description and the title of the item, try to infer what kind of skills are related to it, then search the attributes library in Talent Intelligence Hub to find the matching attribute. And if this is found, the attribute will be mapped to that item. So that way, if you have a large amount of items in your system, you can let the system tag your items automatically with the relevant skills that you already prepared in your attributes library. Now, the way to do that is actually before you do the import, you should do an export of data, okay? Because that will give you the template that you use in order to do the import. The way to do it is to select the skills inference items option, click next, then you can select the items that you want to the system to infer their skills. So you don't have to do it on all items. You can pick and choose if you like, or you can choose all of them. That's also a possibility. So for example, we can take this item and then we go next and we will do an export. So what the system will do, it will export a file with a simple list of the items that we want the system to infer their skills. We can then go back to export data page and download the file that was just exported. Okay, so in this case, this is the file that was created. Now, if we want the system to infer this skill, we simply import it back to the system, and the system will try to infer skills for this item. So, so this is like the more advanced type of mapping skills to items. So we have the manual, we have the batch, and we have the AI-based. One point to keep in mind that the AI-based currently works on skills only. So it will only map skills to the item, not competencies in other attribute types. So I think these are very exciting times now in SuccessFactors learning with the new learning experience that now is the time to push forward to move to that and start looking at mapping skills and competencies to items. So I hope this was useful for you, and I hope you enjoy the product. Thank you very much.